StudyIQ IAS, अब तैयारी हुई अफोर्डेबल।
Hello, Namaskar, Namaskara, Namaskaram, Namaskar everyone. My name is Pooja Divedi. Welcome to my class. The daily current affairs is going to change the trajectory of your preparation. Why do I say so? Because I cover the entire current affairs on a daily basis. The most important news is covered on a daily basis from the perspective of not only the preliminary examination but also from the perspective of the mains examination. The knowledge and the conceptual clarity that you will gain throughout these classes, it will be applicable for your mains examination as well and thereafter the interviews. So make sure that you devote just 30 minutes of your day daily to these classes. Do not need to worry about making notes because I provide the notes through my Telegram channel that is by the name of Pooja Divedi UPSC. If you have any queries regarding this examination, you can also talk to me on my Instagram. These are the various events that we have to cover today. Last time I asked you a question about Women's Equality Day. Many of you have answered it correctly. I will take the names of those students who have answered it correctly by the end of this classes. Let's solve it together. This day commemorates the passage of the 19th Amendment to the US Constitution. The 19th Amendment gave the women rights to vote. So odd. Even after so many years of gaining independence, the USA took many years to treat their women as equals. Unlike India, when in 1947 we gained independence, we ensured that we treat our women equally. We gave them the right to vote as well. But the USA took many years. A movement also was induced in order to ensure that women get the right to vote. Feminism, which has gained such a bad connotation due to the misinterpretation, misrepresentation, and the reactionary forces, that we do not actually get the crux of it. Feminism doesn't mean that women should be treated better than men. They should be treated morally higher than men. They should be treated to be somebody like a goddess. It's not that. Feminism just means that both the genders should be treated as equals. Because the women have been at the end of injustice, receiving end of the injustice, many injustice for years. That is why in order to uplift women, we had to ensure a name should be given to any movement that is making the females move upwards. That is why feminism. It is more of an equality, that both the genders should be treated equally when it comes to pay scale, when it comes to economic upliftment, when it comes to getting opportunities, when it comes to political representation. All these actually mean feminism. And every sane person in this country, in this world, should be a feminist. It means equality. Okay? Remember that. Understand, then react. Do not react before understanding. Always ensure that your opinion is informed. Alright? Then, 26th August is the correct day. D is the correct option. Women's Equality Day is commemorating the universal suffrage movement. The 19th Amendment to the American Constitution, it took place in the year 1920. And the 50th anniversary of this ratification was being celebrated on August 26, 1970. So, the National Organization for Women urged women to participate in a statewide strike for equality. Strike for equality in order to ensure that whenever it comes to nation building, women are not left behind. Eventually, Women's Equality Day was established by the Congress in 1971 and the theme for this year is Embrace Equity. The strategic plan from 2021 to 2026 is going to be the basis, and this will be integrated in that. Now, the P2I batches are already launched from 23rd of August and 31st of August is the date. It is the date when we are going to end our admission in this particular batch. The batches will be available for Hindi, English and English. P2I means prelims, mains and interviews. All the important facets of this examination, you will find the solution to this in only one batch, that is the P2I batch. Evening batch, this is you will be able to interact with the teachers because these will be live classes. Everything, CSAT is also included, essay is also included, even mock interviews are included. Many coaching centers do not provide all this at just about a cost of 70,000. But if you use the code PD Live, you will get it at 29,999 only. PD Live is also applicable to all different sorts of courses. You can apply this code. Let's move forward. Consider the following countries: UAE, Kazakhstan, Iran, Argentina, Bangladesh. So these are the 5 important countries that we have to see. And how many of the above mentioned countries have recently joined BRICS? BRICS has expanded. I have already made a video on this, made a class on this. Make sure you watch it, because there is going to be definitely a question in your mains examination for sure. If not 2023, then 2024, of course. So make sure you watch it, because there are challenges to the expansion of BRICS. What if the influence of countries such as India, South Africa, China, it decreases when it expands? Also, why is it expanding? It is expanding to counterweight the G7. And major point is de-dollarization, to substitute dollar with some other currency. So all these facets are already talked about in one of my classes. Do watch it. StudyIQ IAS English. So recently 6 countries joined the BRICS, but the formal integration or effect will be given from 1st January 2024. So these are the countries including UAE, Iran, Argentina, but not Kazakhstan right now and not Bangladesh. So 1, 2, 3. 3 only will be the correct answer. 6 countries have joined. 40 countries showed interest in joining BRICS, but 22 were there which formally applied for it, out of which for this year, for this expansion, we have gotten 6 countries, and now BRICS is becoming expanded. That means expanded GDP, that means expanded power when it comes to negotiating with the West and many other things. Although it is not a trade bloc, but of course trade will be impacted. So let's talk about these countries. BRICS. BRICS is an acronym. It was propounded by Jim O'Neill, who was a British economist from Goldman Sachs. He said that these are the 4 countries, BRIC only. South Africa was not one of them. South Africa joined only in the year 2010. So Brazil, Russia, India and China, they were touted as becoming the major economies by the year 2050 because of their low labor cost, because of the demographic dividend, because of the natural resources which weren't exploited. So South Africa joined in 2010, hence the name BRICS. Now BRICS is expanding. We are yet to see what will be the name of it. Will it remain BRICS or BRICS Plus or something like that? And more expansion will be also coming. So remember that. Alright. So these are the 6 countries which have recently joined: Argentina, Egypt, Ethiopia, Iran, Saudi Arabia, and UAE. We can expect one question from this. Okay, let's move forward. Consider the following statements. Statement 1, I talked about de-dollarization. This is a question in relevance to that. The dollar's dominance renders other economies susceptible to fluctuations in the US monetary policy. A single reserve currency system, particularly one centered around the US dollar, allows the US to accumulate significant amounts of debt. So we have to choose the correct answer using these codes. De-dollarization, what is this? It means we must overthrow the king dollar. Or we can also include certain other currencies in the reserve. Whenever any currency is has been given too much importance since World War II, with the establishment of the Bretton Woods Institute, all the reserve has been made, generally almost all the reserve money that is held by the central banks, important international agencies, it is in dollars only. Not only, but euro is also there. Mostly it is in dollars, we can say. So what happens that whenever a currency is a reserve currency, it becomes easier and convenient to trade in that. And dollar has done it with its own prowess. It is predictable, it is highly liquid, it has huge investment support, and that is all because of the US's economy. The US's economy has remained healthy for a long period of time. So that is why stability of the US dollar was very much hailed. But now recently we are seeing that USA was almost going to breach its debt, and hence it changed its monetary policies. Whenever there is a high concentration of devotion towards one single currency, it becomes really hard to delink from that. So many countries in the world are dependent on dollars. And whenever there is a change in the monetary policy of the USA, the spillover effect starts to take place. The spillover can go to different democracies, different countries, not democracies, countries. And their domestic issues are something else. And hence, if their currency is intertwined with the dollar, then their domestic issues also arise. So the dollar's dominance renders other economies susceptible. This is definitely correct. And this is the reason, because single reserve currency system, US has been able to accumulate significant amount of debt. And this debt, if it causes any monetary policy changes, if raising interest takes place, decreasing interest takes place, it bothers other economies as well. So both the statements are correct, and because this is a single reserve currency which is very concentrated, because of this first statement is happening. So both the statements are correct, and statement 2 is the correct explanation of statement 1. Right now, the BRICS are talking about why we are trading in dollars. Look at Russia, it was sanctioned. Look at Iran, it was sanctioned. And Russia is now able to trade with respect to swapping currencies. Why shouldn't we, as BRICS nations, should also develop a mechanism by the next of this summit so that we can trade in local currencies? This is de-dollarization, substituting the dollar from local currencies. Some mechanism has to be developed between two or more than two countries, that which currency is the best to trade after the dollar, or if there is certain sort of mechanism in which these two countries can trade in their by currency swapping, that can also take place. So let's see. Reserve currency, whenever dollar is the reserve currency, it's a medium of exchange, also unit of account. All these have to be removed, then de-dollarization will occur. You see that US dollar is 59% of the reserve currency that the government agencies are holding. Sorry, not government, but international agencies and international banks are holding. Then we have 21% euro, then 10% others, 6% yen. Alright, like this it goes. So, international transactions, stabilize exchange rates, bolster financial confidence. These are the major reasons why, or these are the major aims why any currency is upheld. And stability, liquidity, and wide acceptance in the global market are the reasons as well. So dollars has all of these features. Lower transaction cost also occurs when we are trading in a highly predictable currency. Reduced exchange rate risk. We also have to remove this if we have to ensure that de-dollarization occurs. And the ability to finance deficits, these are relatively lower cost because it has huge investment interest. Size and strength of the US economy has the paramount reason why dollar has remained the king since a long period of time. The deep and liquid US financial market and the perception of the US as a bastion of stability. USA's economy is stable. That is why it is most of the time hailed as a stable economy, as a bastion of developed economy. This is what any currency has to do in order to become, widely accepted. Be stable, be predictable, be highly liquid, be convenient, be easily tradable. These are the many features. Okay, moving on. Whenever any concentration of any concentration in the hands of one single currency happens, it gives exorbitant privilege, too much privilege to the USA to maintain large current account deficits and also accumulate significant amount of debt. And whenever that happens, those other countries which are also having huge debt in dollars, it becomes very difficult for them to ensure that they are paying back their loan on time. So that is the reason why we need de-dollarization, why we need more local currencies in place. Moving on. Consider the following statements. The Spangur Lake is to the northwest of the Pangong Tso Lake. The Galwan Valley is to the south of the Depsang Plains. And the Galwan River is a tributary of the Nubra River. How many of the statements given above is or are correct? See, recently Prime Minister Modi and President Xi Jinping in a very candid way talked about to solve the LAC dispute very quickly. And the border talks are still going on. The LAC is not delineated properly. This is the reason why India and China, they see continuous transgressions. And this LAC, it is divided into three sectors. Western sector consists of Ladakh, then of course Himachal Pradesh, Uttarakhand. Middle sector Uttarakhand we can also take here, Uttarakhand and Sikkim. And then finally, we have the eastern sector, Arunachal Pradesh. The western sector sees the most number of fluctuation. And the western sector, here is the western sector. This is the international boundary which is recognized by India because this is ours. And this is the Chinese claim line. China illegally occupied this region. These are the many flashpoints that occurred since the Galwan Valley incident in 2020. And 3 years on, we are unable to resolve this dispute, although talks are still going on. When both the countries will start seeing from a singular perspective, then only we can resolve this issue. So Daulat Beg Goldi, Depsang Plains, Galwan Valley, here only the clash occurred. Pangong Tso Lake, this is the Endorek Lake, south bank of the Pangong. So these are the different flashpoints. Galwan Valley, here is the Galwan River. And this is the approximate location of clash that occurred, the Galwan Valley clash. So Galwan River is not a tributary of the Nubra River, but the Shok River. So the correct answer with respect to this will be, of course, third is not correct here. It should be Shok. As you can see, here is the Shok River. Alright. Then moving on, here is the Spangud Lake, which lies north of the Rechinla and Rezangla. But it is to the south and not the northwest of the Pangong Tso Lake. Okay, so that makes the first statement to be incorrect. And the Galwan Valley is to the south of the Depsang Plains. This is definitely correct. Here is the Depsang Plain. Here is the Galwan Valley. It is to the south. Alright. So that makes the first statement to be incorrect, second statement to be correct, and third is incorrect. One only will be the correct answer. Alright. Let's move forward. With respect to the Lunar Polar Exploration Mission, which of the statement is not correct? Not correct. Remember to read the questions correctly, because UPSC will definitely confuse us. It will ensure that it takes or exploits the pressure and the nervousness that the students show during the examination, and the exam is really difficult. It is inevitable to be nervous. You just have to manage your nervousness by being calm, remaining calm, and practicing as many questions as you can. So LUPEX, first of all, it is being touted as Chandrayaan 4. It is not. It is not in the Chandrayaan series. It is being touted as. Please understand the facts before, if you are, in a process of learning about UPSC examination, make sure that you check and recheck it. Alright. So Chandrayaan 4 will be a sample return mission. That means we will collect sample from there and then we will bring it back to the earth to study it further. Alright. And that is another sort of complexity. Chandrayaan 3, we have shown enormous prowess when it comes to technology demonstration. For the first time ever, any country has been able to soft land on the south pole of the moon. So it's a big achievement because we had to go through so many mathematical simulation. If you saw it, first it was moving in a horizontal manner. We had to make the lander vertical. Then we had to reduce the velocity, the altitude. So many mathematical simulations had to be there, and bringing it back to the earth at an approximate correct point, this is another challenge. So this is not Chandrayaan 4. Why? Chandrayaan 4 will be a sample return mission. Lunar polar exploration is to explore further the lunar surface. So it is a collaboration between India and Japan. That is definitely correct. Option A is correct. It will carry the instruments of 4 space agencies. This is also correct. Apart from the payloads from India and Japan, ESA, European Space Agency, and NASA's instruments will also go. So B is also correct. It is scheduled to launch in January 2024. This is not correct. We cannot see that it will be launched before 2025-2026. So this is the estimated range, but definitely not January 2024. So this is also, this is not correct. This will be the correct answer. It is aimed at exploring lunar polar region stability for establishing base on the moon. This is definitely correct. If we are able to develop a base to conduct experiments, it will be a springboard for us. Moon is not the destination. It is springboard for India. We have to move beyond moon. Whenever we are able to colonize the moon, it will become easy for the earthlings to ensure that we go far to other interplanetary missions. The cost will be reduced. Other than this, the kind of experiments that we will conduct over there, it will give a lot of insights about the origin of the universe. These are all the reasons. So option C is the correct one over here. LUPEX means Lunar Polar Exploration Mission. It is a collaboration between ISRO and the Japanese space agency JAXA. Japanese H3 rocket will be the one which is going to carry it. It features a lander and a rover. Lander will land, rover will show roving capacity. To explore the moon's southern polar region. Remember, it is also talking about the South Pole where we have gone. Investigating the presence of water and other elements, potentially in the form of surface ice. ISRO and JAXA actually joined hands with respect to it in 2017, but it was further cemented by the launch of the Chandrayaan-2. So by March 2018, they had wrapped up the feasibility report. The LUPEX mission aims to showcase innovative surface exploration technology, how to explore the surface. New innovative techniques will be used. The special focus is on vehicular transport and lunar night survival. Keep these two in mind because it is really hard to survive at a temperature when we talk about the moon at night. That is why we are going to explore that as well. Consider the following. Occurs on the west side of the continents. Occurs in both north and south of the equator. Occurs between 30 degree and 45 degree latitude. Hot, humid summers and cool, wet winters. How many of the above mentioned are not the characteristics of the Mediterranean type of climate? If we talk about the Mediterranean type of climate, it gets its name from the Mediterranean Sea, but it is not just limited to there. The type of climate can be manifested in other regions, including Australia, North America, African northern region and southern region. So it occurs in both north and south of the equator, definitely correct. Occurs on the west side of the continent. It is occurring on the west side of continents. North America, we are going to see it west. Even with respect to Australia, we are going to see it in the west. So yes, first is correct, second is correct, third is also correct, but it is not hot, humid summer. It is hot, dry summers and cool, wet winters. So this is how UPSC is going to trick you. Make sure that you read. If you're not confident, then reread the statement, then only move forward. Make sure you revise it. All right. So 1, 2, 3. These three are correct. Not correct, we have to select only fourth one. One will be not correct over here. Now, because of the current situation with respect to forest fires and wildfires in Greece, I have asked this question to you. Even our Prime Minister is visiting Athens today. That is why. Mediterranean climate means hot, dry summer and cool, wet winters. Because of the dryness only, wildfires are able to reach at such huge magnitudes. That is why you have to remember it. It is located between about 30 degrees and 45 degrees latitude north and south of the equator and on the western sides of the continent. As you can see over here, northwest, this is south, but west, 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 and it is of course present in the countries of the Mediterranean Sea. And it is in the Köppen-Geiger pole system, it is divided into CSA and CSB subtypes. You have to remember this as well because UPSC can trick you by asking CSA and CSB subtypes. It is the Mediterranean type of climate. Now, code llama, recently seen in the news, refers to efforts to rescue the llama population, an undercover operation to free Indian citizens from Libya, Pakistan's new series of moon mission, and model to write computer code. The correct answer to this question is option D, model to write computer code. Meta platform said that it would release an artificial intelligence model designed to assist writing computer code, which will be named as Code Llama. It will be freely available and it can write code based on human text prompts. It can also be used for code completion and debugging. The new AI model is built on the top of Meta's latest Llama 2 language model to compete with Microsoft's GitHub, which is also an open source software. Code Llama supports the popular coding languages Python, Java, C++. It is not not recommended for general text tasks. Remember that. It is not recommended for general texting tasks. So it could be a very good preliminary question that it is recommended for general texting task as well. It is not. Consider the following pairs. We have to match the award and the awardee. I am moving away so that I can read it for you. Nargis Dutt Award, The Kerala Story. Best Meteorolon Film, Ekoigi Young. Best Promotional Film, Endangered Heritage Worldly Art. Best Male Playback Singer, Karl Bhairav. So, with respect to the 69th National Award, how many of the pairs given above is or are correct? Nargis Dutt Award has been given to the Kashmir Files and not the Kerala story. So first is definitely incorrect. Best Meithilon film, which is in the language Meithei, is given to Ekoigi Yam. Best promotional film is given to Endangered Heritage Worldly Art. And finally, the best male playback singer is Kal Bhairav. The 69th national awards have been recently given. That is why I asked you this question. All three, out of the four, three only are correct. Option C will be correct. This award was established in 1954, but it wasn't called the National Award. It is given by the President of India and it is given in three categories: features, non-feature, best writing on cinema. Now we have to keep in mind that over the years, the number of awards has increased. Earlier, this was known as the state awards, in which 2 presidents' gold medal, 2 certificates of merit and silver medals were distributed for a dozen regional films for the first 6 years. Later on, it got its name, the National Award. Alright. So this is the basic detail that I have provided in the PDF. You can see it. Best feature film has been given to Rocketry. Best director is Nikhil Mahajan for Godavari. Best popular film providing wholesome entertainment is RRR. Nargis Dutt Award for Best Feature Film on National Integration has been given to Kashmir Files. Best actor is Allu Arjun from Pushpa. Actress is Alia Bhatt from Gangubai Kathiawadi. And Kriti Sanan from Mimi, for Mimi. Best supporting actor is Pankaj Tripathi for Mimi. Mimi is a really good movie. You must watch it. Best supporting actress Pallavi Joshi for the Kashmir Files. Best child artist Bhavin Rabari for Cello Throw, and so on. Alright. The Dokala, this is a practice question for you. The Dokala or the Doklam standoff between India and China took place in which of the following years? 2016, 17, 18, 19. Recently, Bhutan and China are having talks to resolve the dispute with respect to the Dokala, the Doklam. So you have to answer it correctly in the comment segment. Let me take the names of those students who have answered my last question correctly. Many of you have answered it correctly. Let me take your names. So yes, answer D is correct. Simran has answered it correctly. Ria has answered it correctly. User. Then Mandeep, Shubham. Thank you, Shubham. Then Prabhat has answered it correctly. Komal, Priyadarshan, Gaurangi. Very good. So thank you so much for watching. That's it.
StudyIQ IAS. अब तैयारी हुई अफोर्डेबल।